Hello, this is RICKY, the Android Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A, where we bring you all the latest news and everything that's going on in the world of Android. Alright guys, today, oh, sorry, some technical difficulties. Alright, so today we are going to, of course, talk about everything that happened during the week and then add on to everything else with all of the viewer questions. If you have a question, make sure to email me at askandroidguy@gmail.com. And once you do that, let me see. There you go. Email me at askandroidguy@gmail.com, and if you do, I will answer your question live next week on next week's episode. So make sure to do that. And now, without further ado, we will start with the news. So what happened this week in the world of Android? Well, the first big thing that happened was the fact that we now have the release dates for the Note 4. So for those of you who want to purchase a Note 4, we do officially have the release dates. The release date for the Note 4 is October 17th. And if you are in the U.S., pre-orders did start at AT&T and Verizon as of the 19th, which was funny, of course, because that was the iPhone launch day. So both you can go to both stores and pre-order them right now. And you do have the ability to get the black and the white, I believe. Black and white is confirmed at AT&T. However, I'm not completely positive if Verizon has both the black and white. I'm currently loading that right now. Yes, you can get both black and white at Verizon as well. So you have that ability as well. At Sprint, pre-orders will start on Friday, so the 26th of September, this coming up Friday, you will be able to pre-order the device. However, Sprint is a little bit more on contract. It is $350. Sprint did this last year. I have no idea why they're trying to charge more than every other carrier. Especially, I mean, let me put it this way: they should not be charging more than every other carrier. Period. It's $299 at Verizon and at AT&T, and Sprint, that has been struggling a little bit lately, is $350. I don't know why. I really don't. And T-Mobile is priced, of course. They don't have contracts, so the full price, however, for T-Mobile is $749, which is cheaper than certain carriers such as AT&T. So for $749, it is about $31 a month that you pay for 24 months with zero down. So yeah, those are, and T-Mobile is going to be starting on the 24th, which is this Wednesday. So each one has a different timeline and the way they're going to be launching. So yes, you have that news for the Note 4. Now, besides that, though, we do have a nice update on the screen for the Note 4. Samsung always got accused of, AMOLED screens not being as good as LCD. Well, that is completely full of it now. Because of the new technology on these AMOLED devices, it is official that the Samsung screen on the Note 4 is the best screen, period. It gives the truest colors, as well as giving everything else from the brightest screen outside to just the sharpest image. Everything is better on this device compared to any other device. So for the overall best screen in the market right now, you're going to want a Samsung Galaxy Note 4. And Apple can't go to China this year. That is right. A lot of people don't realize, but Apple really isn't that big of a global company in comparison to, say, Samsung, or even LG for that matter. Apple, for instance, is very new to China Mobile, and they are actually picking other Chinese manufacturers and even other Korean manufacturers instead of the iPhone to be in China this year. So China said, no, we'll wait. We can launch the iPhone 6 next year. And when it comes to China, they really just iPhone is, I believe, less than 5% of the Chinese market right now. It is very, very low. Yeah, Apple's market share fell to 1.4. Yeah, so Apple's market share fell to 1.4%, 1.4% of China. Just to give you an idea, this is why, of course, yeah, so this is why the China has, it's hurt Apple, and their stocks did go down that day. They've picked back up a little bit since then, but of course, when Apple announces tomorrow, most likely how many devices they've sold, we'll see how the stock rebounds. Amazon has launched new tablets. That's right, they have new tablets, and you can pre-order them right now. And there are a couple of different ones. So there is a new Kindle Fire HDX 8.9, and with this one, I think it's just called the Fire HDX. I think they're getting rid of the Kindle name in their tablets. So they just want to stick to the Fire series as their Fire phone, although that was a big flop. So the tablet is 379, and how does this compare to other tablets on the market? Well, it does have the Snapdragon 805, which is one of the best processor chips out on the market right now. It's on devices such as the S5, the LG G3, devices like that, and you do have so really great processor on it. In terms of the screen, you still have an amazing screen quality on it, and just really, really good. I mean, it's really a great kind of device for the most part, and it updated even its Wi-Fi connection. So overall, it looks like it's improved a bit. In terms of Kindle, though, it's still Kindle, which means the real downside to Kindle is its ecosystem. Until they allow Google applications to be on the Kindle, it will never be a top seller again, just because it was in the beginning because of its price point, but when Samsung and other tablet manufacturers caught to that price point, Kindle doesn't offer anything more without being limited to its own ecosystem. On that note, though, Kindle is going for a much lower price point. That's right. The manufacturer has started doing a 6-inch tablet at $99. $99 for a 6-inch tablet, and it's going to be geared towards the kids. It's very kid-friendly in terms of the coloring, and then they even do have an official kids edition, which has a even more limited OS to it comparing to Kindle's regular one. Uh, and you can get the kit edition, I believe, for $30 more on depending on which device it is. So the 6-inch is again 99, and the 7-inch is 139. Now these tablets do come with 1280 by 100 screen resolution, which is good, and they do come with the Firefly scanning. However, if you do want that on any Android tablet, all you have to do is download Amazon Flow. That is the same exact app that the Kindle has for it. But yeah, so what do you think of these tablets? Do you think they're anything special, really? I just don't see it that big of an issue. It's $50 more. So it's $50 more. So the kids edition would be $149 for the 6-inch and $189 for the 7-inch. They will ship in October, but you can pre-order them, of course, already. And in other news, there is a new series that's been rumored a lot lately, and I'm kind of just showing you a couple of things on the rumor, which is called the A series, the Samsung Galaxy A series. The Samsung Galaxy A series is supposed to be a metal phone, and there's an A5 and an A3 right now that's according to the rumors. The A5 was a 5-inch with a 720p display and a Snapdragon 400 processor, which is a little slower. I mean, this is a similar processor to what we have on Android Wear devices right now. It does have a 13 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel front camera, even better than the Note 4 on terms of front cameras right now. So it's really interesting. And then there we supposedly have an A3, which is a 4.8-inch screen with a QHD display, which is really outdated by today's standards. And this one actually does have the quad-core 1.2 processor on it, which is similar again to the Snapdragon 400. These are both, newer processor, but they're a bit older. But however, this one is supposedly the one with a 64-bit architecture. And in terms of that, it has only 1 gig of RAM and 5 gigs of storage. So this is definitely entry level. However, what is important to note about these A series devices, it never looks like they're going to go anywhere else but Japan, or sorry, but China. So it will only go into China, it seems like. It's not going anywhere else. But if you're wondering what the A5 series looks like, this is supposedly what it looks like. That's right. Again, this is 1.2 gigahertz, 2 gigs RAM, 16 gigs of storage. You do have both cameras on there, up to 128 expandable. Again, it is a quad core. This was translated by Google Translate, so it might be a bit rough. But yes, so this is supposedly coming out, and what it does it look like? It looks very metally, but I mean that is very close to an iPhone. I mean the same kind of way that it comes out. I'll be the first to say it right then and there. I would be interested to see if this is really coming out. I mean, it looks like it could be a knockoff by the Goo company that does a lot of knockoffs. They have a knockoff of an iPhone 6 with Android on it over there in China right now. So by all means, it could be a knockoff, but it's really hard to tell. So that is the weekly news. Now let's get to the viewer questions. If you have a question, please feel free to email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com if you are watching during the week. And if you are watching now, please, of course, just leave your comment in the comment section down below, and I will be getting to it. All right, Ellen asks, "Hi, I've watched your videos on the S4, and I have my S4 Mini. I love the idea of wirelessly connecting to a TV, and does my S4 Mini have this compatibility?" Well, unfortunately, thank you for the question. I do not have an S4 Mini currently right now. It's just not one of the devices I currently have. But the easy way to tell if your device is compatible with it is simply by this. All you do is you do a two-finger pull down. So you take your device, let me lower the screen brightness, you take your device, and you do a two-finger pull down. And if it has screen mirroring, which is that little symbol right there, then you can mirror to your TV. The other way to get to it is if you go into Settings right here at the top, and scroll all the way down under Connections. Most devices will have connections, and then again, there's screen mirroring. So you do have to have screen mirroring in order to mirror to the device. Now, you will definitely have something called nearby devices, which is a bit different. That does work differently. That works with DLNA technology, which can allow you to kind of do what Chromecast does, and that is connect to using well, actually, no, it's the opposite of Chromecast. It allows you to mirror built-in movies onto your TV if your TV has DLNA, or if your Blu-ray player has DLNA. These are things that have DLNA. But yes, that would be how you would find out. So it's simple as just looking on your phone and looking for screen mirroring. If it doesn't have it, then it's not compatible with it. If it does have it, then it is compatible with it. A good alternative, however, though, is to look up my video on Chromecast. And Chromecast will allow you to mirror YouTube, will allow you to mirror your Chrome, it will allow you to mirror Netflix, Hulu. God, it really does keep expanding. And eventually, in the new series, once it gets the update, you can mirror it entirely. So Chromecast will allow you to mirror your phone eventually entirely, as long as you have it under the same Wi-Fi connection. So something to look out for. All right, Pete J asked, I have my Galaxy S5, and when someone calls me who is in my contact list, it'll ring for 5 seconds, and then it'll announce their name. What's going on here? Well, that's a good question, Pete, and one that I had an issue with, believe it or not, myself. I was kind of like, what's going on here? I don't want this person to be announced. So this is how you fix it. Now, I do have to go back to it on my phone because it's been a while, but I think it was under accessibility, and under accessibility was probably for yes, I believe it was under accessibility, and then answering and ending phone calls. and I believe it was voice control. So if you had voice control on, it would announce the names, if I'm not mistaken, when someone calls. If you turn that off, then you're all good, and then it will not do that. So that was what did it, if I'm not mistaken. I will check under call settings really quickly just to make sure it's not under there, but I am almost positive that that is what did it. Context phone. Yep, I'm. Yep, now I'm entirely positive. So that is what did it, and then that will solve your issue. All right. David asks, "Hey, I'm having a hell of a time with our Zeki tablet, spelled Zeki, Android tablet, but I don't have a file manager. I can't find it. Can you help us with this?" Yeah, you just want to get a third-party file manager. Not all Android devices come with file manager built in on there. That's fine. You just need to download one. So I'm not sure what kind of Play Store this tablet has. If it has the Google Play Store, the two best ones I recommend are either Asteroid File Manager, spelled ASTRO, File Manager, or you can get ES Explorer. Those are the two ones that I recommend and that most people tend to like. So those are the ones that I would recommend getting if you need a file manager. If you don't have the Google Play Store, whatever Play Store, whatever store you get apps from, those are very popular, so you should be able to find it there. If not, see how to download any app, which I do have a video of that something like that, which I go over how to download an APK file, and that will be a third way of installing those apps. All right, Lebo Gang. Lebo Gang. Okay, Lebo Gang asks, "Hi, when I receive pictures, music via Bluetooth on my S5, they don't appear in the gallery or music, but after I reset the phone, they appear. Please help." It sounds like there's something wrong either with those apps, or how are you exactly transferring via Bluetooth? Are you using S-Beam, or are you transferring files via an app like Bump? That would be my first question. But they do end up appearing. It's just they don't appear right away. I would try to clear my RAM, and so clear your apps and then clear the RAM. How you do this on your phone for your S5 would be you have your S5 open, you hold down, you tap the multi-screen button. It'll have all the apps. You hit this one. That'll get rid of all the running apps. And then you hit this one, which, for just a quick reference, will basically get rid of all the background apps. So we're going to end all. And there you go. Then try opening up the app, and hopefully that will help and fix the issue right then and there. It just seems like the apps need to refresh, and that should be fine. All right, so we have a couple of questions in the comment section. Let me get to them. Hey, Eve Hill, what's up? Hey, Omar Wilson, what's up? Let's get to the questions you guys have. About 2 days ago, I got a message to sign into my email after I viewed a photo in the regular gallery. Now I get it randomly. I use QuickPick as my gallery right now. I don't use that. Any way to stop that other than obviously signing in? Try uninstalling the app, Evil, or QuickPick. I'm assuming is just a gallery viewer, so nothing's actually saved onto the app. So I would uninstall the app and then reinstall it and see if that is. But sign into your email after you viewed the photo regularly. In the regular gallery. I don't know why you would have to do that, and then it's doing it randomly into the regular gallery, not your QuickPick gallery. So why would it affect that one? Yeah, I would either uninstall the app or and reinstall it. I would try doing that to see, or even doing the simple trick that I always show you guys. That is go to app info on the app itself. So go to app info, click force stop, and then right there, clear data. If you do that, that will reset the app itself, and then maybe it won't have that issue. So hopefully that'll work. All right. Hey, Kronos. It's funny that Apple criticized NFC last year by saying that you don't have to bump your phone to implement photo payment. Do you think since Apple is on board now, NFC payments will take off? I think it's definitely going to help. The issue more so is if is if these companies who are buying these machines will be favorite Apple and not leave the machines themselves open. So what I mean by that is say Disneyland, right? Disneyland starts taking Apple Pay. Well, that machine that takes Apple Pay, is it also going to take Google Wallet and Soft Card, or is it only going to be configured for Apple Pay? That is more so the question that we will take to see, because I think if it's one way, then they're not going to take off as big as they could, despite what Apple tries to say how great they are. They're not big. Apple is not as big as other, especially in other countries. So Apple Pay, will be limited to the U.S., but Apple has lost market share in the U.S. So the real question is if Apple Pay is going to be big enough for all of these retailers to receive their audience they really want to receive, because I mean, obviously, I'm not going to use Apple Pay, and anyone that owns an Android won't use Apple Pay, and anyone that owns, a Windows Phone won't use Apple Pay. So they are missing a big market, I feel, in consumers, and I don't know if they're willing to do that. So we'll see. Um, I like apples. I like apple pie. Hey, I was wondering if maybe you could ever get your hands on Xperia Z3. I was just thinking it is one of the best smartphones out. Maybe you could review and compare. The Xperias are hard to get a hold of, to be honest, and I do try to see if I can get any kind of either the companies would send them to me. I have reached out to Sony several times. Unfortunately, I have never received a device from them. I am kind of interested in the Xperia tablet, the Xperia Z3 tablet, the 8-inch one. I think it's really beautiful, and I have a PS4, and I would love to remote play my games in my house. That sounds awesome to me, and I have a PS4 controller. I can just hook it up, and there you go. So that is one thing that I would really look forward to. However, the Z3, I feel, you know, and to be honest, another thing is Sony doesn't get as many views. When I've done stuff on Sony, they don't get as many views. And let's face it, right now, Sony, all the Xperias are the Z3, Z3 Compact, and Z3 Tablet are awesome. But let's be honest, they're not going to be in the cell phone company for another year. They're not. I mean, that last report was horrible. It was just horrible. They are losing money from cell phones. $2 billion lost, and all the blame pretty much was put on their cell phone company. So yeah, that's really really bad. So yeah, I think it's going to be really bad in terms of how it is. So it's not going to Sony's not going to recover. They can't, and hopefully what I'm hoping that Sony ends up doing is they become more of a software company when it comes to the mobile universe. They make their PS4 compatible with all Android devices. Right now, I can directly plug my PS4 into my my Note 3 or my S5. I can directly plug them in, and they work natively. Don't need to do anything else. But I would like to do it through Bluetooth, which you can do with Xperia phones, and I would like to be able to do that with all phones. So I think if Sony would become like Sony Mobile in terms of just software, bring PlayStation games using PlayStation Now, bring it to Android, sell them on the Google Play Store, sell that mount to work with all devices. I think that would really be good, and I think that would make them money instead of losing money, which is all they're doing in the cell phone realm. And the biggest reason I feel is because they don't come to the U.S. Sony is hardly ever in the U.S. And now I mean I'm sure that has to do with carriers, and they're not carrying them in the U.S. It's not that Sony doesn't want to be; it's that they're not carrying them. So it's really tough, and I mean this is a tough market for everyone. You're really in a time frame now where it doesn't even look like HTC is going to be around for another 3 years. The only one that might be, because they have turned some things around, is LG. LG, I feel, they're still not where they want to be, and I don't think they're ever going to be where they want to be. But they are number three at least in most European and American regions. In China and places like that, they're far back, but you take it where you can get it, and at least LG does good in some parts, whereas HTC is hurting, and Sony's hurting worse. So yeah, Sony will not. I do not believe they will be around for more than another year, unfortunately. All right, guys. There's no other questions. We will call that a show. Thank you guys always for watching, and thank you for actually being able to hear this time. I know we had a lot of technical difficulties. I reset my entire computer, so now it's back, and should have no problems anymore. All right, guys. Thank you again for watching, and please give a like, thumbs up down below. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.